So, with intervention, we know that it begins very, very early for children because of that plasticity in their brain. So, we want to take advantage of it, of that early period. And your role, or one of your roles, is to help the parents help the child. Because at the end of the day, maybe you'll spend, an hour a week with the child, two 30-minute sessions, but it's the parents or the caregivers that really spend the most time with the child. So they need to be taught how to maximize their child's development and how to best meet the child's needs. And that's one of your roles is to teach the parents how to do this. We would hope to work along a normal development path, but due to the delay, there might be some asynchronous learning. And with asynchronous learning, you need more carefully pre-planned, structured, teacher or parent-directed strategies. The longer the child is without hearing, the more that asynchronous learning might occur. Like I said early on, we focus primarily with the parents. And by 3 years of age, the parents are thinking about different preschool or educational needs. There's no single method or educational setting that meets all of the needs of children with hearing loss, but we'll go over a few of them. And just because the parents are fully involved and you're fully involved and they're in an excellent school, there's no guarantee that the child will learn spoken language. Sometimes they're just diagnosed very late, or the children have poorly fitted or maintained hearing aids, an impoverished educational background, a lack or ineffective parental involvement, other disabilities. So sometimes spoken language won't progress as well as you would hope. So there are a lot of different programs. There are public and private programs. They're called oral or auditory verbal programs. And these are programs, so, the focus of this class, it's not about teaching sign language, it's spoken language. So auditory oral programs, they don't teach sign language. There's no focus on sign or the deaf culture. It's really very language focused. And there's a certification from the A.G. Bell Academy as a listening and spoken language therapist. And in another life, I would have done this. I think it's something that you as speech pathologists who are interested in working with children that have hearing loss, it's like an extra certification that you should look into getting under your belt. If you have a few moments, go to their website. I think there's a continuation with the CFY, where basically like you work under a specialist, an auditory verbal language therapist, and then you do a certain number of hours, you take some online courses, and you take another sort of praxis test, and then you get this extra certification that qualifies you to work with children that have hearing loss. And I think it's something really great to make you special or stand out. So it's worth looking into. The primary aim, like I said, of all of these auditory oral programs is to teach the child spoken language. They vary a little bit in the dimensions, but the goal is the same. So they might vary in how the parents are involved, or they vary in whether they emphasize normal everyday events or more adult-directed teaching activities. They could also vary in the use of their sensory modalities. So we have 3 avenues for sensory input: auditory, visual, and tactile. So auditory programs focus, mostly on the sounds. And when you want like the best possible performance, you include the visual. And you let the child speech read, where they can get messages off the face and the body, in addition to hearing, so the visual messages with the hearing. And then tactile, which isn't that, popular, but auditory visual when you really want your best performance.